So one of the things that I'm required to do when I'm in these houses is check the trim, check the walls, check the lights. So this house has been sitting for 2 years, and I'm in here doing the little things that the customer, when they walked it, discovered. Some painting. Fireplace is not lighting, which it was lighting and it stopped, so I gotta get that checked. Some touch up on the walls. So, but really, what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna be fixing a piece of trim. But I just wanna show you some of the quality that some builders are putting out. And it's not necessarily the builders, because that's where I come in. I'm the quality control. Now this house was built before I came here. So I was working in another section and then got moved into construction. So one of the things is this. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's about a ½ inch too short. See, I can put my hand under it. See? So, what I'm gonna end up doing with this is planing a piece of oak, ripping it to this width, planing it down to this thickness, staining it and putting it under there. I'm not doing that today, but that's one of my projects. What I'm doing today is fixing this, which was installed incorrectly. The way we do it is we cut this here on a miter, we bring this around and down, and when they ran this long piece, they allowed for that. Well, somebody got lazy and decided they didn't need to do that. So what I'm gonna do is correct that problem. And I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and run this piece around. So I'll take this off, miter it, put it back. I'll cut a piece here, cut a piece here. I'll notch this out so it can go down in there. And I'll take this off so it matches. I think that's what I'm gonna do. The other way you could do it, if you don't wanna get into notching this doesn't look too bad, so you might not wanna mess with this miter, is you could leave this, which typically there's a lot of them here like this. You may have some drywall repairs. I mean, look at that. So, the other way was to take and cut this piece back here, like say, right here, on a miter. So you would take the shoe molding off, put your square there, mark it, cut it on a miter as best you can, and then you would cut a piece, butt it in here, run it in, and go from there. So I'm still trying to figure out which would be the best way of doing it. And the other thing I need to do is I need to shim this. You see that gap? So when you step on the steps, they move, and that's why. It's basic construction that seems to have been lost. Sadly, it's all about how quick you can get it done and how much money you can make. And so you get work that isn't very good. So they hire somebody to come in, which in this case is me, to watch these guys, and if it's wrong, I make them fix it. But like I said, this house has been sitting so long. I'm just looking at the joint. This house has been sitting so long that they're not going to come back and fix it. And the other thing that they can't never seem to get right is this edge right here. You follow that edge down. Okay, right here it's about, it just went from 3/8 to 3/16. It's almost flush. Now, if I called the contractors in to fix this, the window contractor is going to say the jamb got moved when they did the insulation around them. The trim contractor is going to say it's not his job to make sure the jambs are straight. So, we fix it. And this is typical construction. Nothing's custom anymore. Everything's from the factory. So, we get stuff damaged from the factory. Our biggest complaint about the windows is these edges are really sharp. This is a good example of somebody that didn't know what they were doing. So this is a window stop. It stops the window from coming up because they sit so close to the floor that they don't want children opening them and getting out. So these windows were set. And normally these are installed at the factory. Well, in this case, these windows were set, and none of these were installed. So the company come out, I'm not going to name the company, but they came out, installed these. Normally, you need a chisel to take these out, and you destroy them getting them out. They get broke a lot because people forget they're there and they raise the window and they break them. But just look at this. Look at that. I pulled it out with my finger. And then, so that's what it looks like. But look at that. So somebody from the window company came in and cut that. Look at that cut. That's just crazy. It's too big. The hole for the bracket is too big. But we're not going to replace all these windows. And we would probably have a hard time making it happen because the guy that was in charge here, who's no longer with the company, got fired. So basically, my job is to reach the end product, which is this, and then come in after I do a walkthrough, touch up stuff like this, piece of tile they weren't happy with, it's going to get tore out, some touch ups. She didn't like the way this was smooth and this isn't, because this was painted with a brush, this was rolled, so I'm going to roll it. It's just small things. But it gives you an idea of what money buys these days. You put out $600,000 and you get a house that was built, I guess, okay. Just some cosmetic items. Right here's a big thing. See the miters? They opened up. So that happens because the house has been set, and over time you get settlement, so you get cracks that open up. So I'll just mud that in and repaint it. I just wanted you to look at the handrail stuff. So, it's a big house. Until the next one.